Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. In this we're looking at how to create a drive preset using the Mesa Boogie Mark IIC Plus amp. Let's get started. The first step is to find a blank preset, or you can right click a preset that you don't want and then click clear, and it will ask if you are sure you want to delete the preset, and you can say okay, and everything in that space will be cleared for your new preset. First thing I will do is to drag the volume in front of the delay and the reverb block. The next is to click the patch settings and configure my buttons. I always have 5 control switches that I can turn on and off some effects as and when I need it. So my first button would be the pre-block. Second would be the DST block. The third would be the mod block. The fourth would be the delay block, and the fifth would be the reverb block. The next thing that I will do is to head over to the FX loop and push the send and return all the way to 100, or you can keep the send 95 and it will work perfectly too. So everything else stays the same. We would come back and configure the quick access parameters. So now that I've configured these few things, let me go ahead and save my preset. You can save it with any name. I would save it as RIVERFLOW. So now that I have my preset saved, I would go ahead and turn on my amp and cabinet. And you realize when I turned on the amp head, there's some significant noise coming through. So I'll turn on the cabinet to reduce the noise, and also click the noise gate and turn it on. I would choose the gate 1 and set my threshold to 33 for now. And I would click the amp again, scroll through the list and find the amp that I'm looking for. So this is it. It is named Mesa 2C plus 1. So that's basically like the first channel, second channel, and the third channel. In this tutorial, we're using the first channel. So this is how it is, and you realize automatically the board has selected a matching cabinet for me, and it's a Mesa Boogie rectifier 4x12 cabinet. The next thing that I would do is to set my high cut to 5000 and my low cut to 100 Hz. Let's hear how it sounds at the moment. I am playing with my humbucker at the bridge. So this is how it sounds like at the moment. Let's add the extra effects to make it sound beautiful. So I'll click the reverb block and choose church, and I would set my pre-delay to 0. I would keep my mix at 30 and my decay somewhere at 41 for now. And then I would use my control switch buttons to turn on the reverb. And this is how I'm turning it on the board. And my reverb is on. So any effect that I need, I would use any of these 4 buttons, or let me say 1, 2, 3, and 5. This is my control switch 5, 1 and 2. When I press them together, that is my control switch 5. The next thing would be my TubeScreamer. So I'll click the DST block and turn it on. And I'm using the green OD, which is the Ibanez TS808 TubeScreamer. I would set my gain all the way to 0, and the tone would be 62. Now the reason why the gain is at 0 is because I'm just using the pedal to push the breakup for the amp that I'm using. So basically that's the reason it is like that. The next thing that I would do would be to add a delay. So I'll click the DLY block, turn it on the board like this, and the delay block is on. So there's the pre, the DST, the modulation, and the DLY, and these two is the reverb block. Now I would choose a ping pong delay, turn on the sync and the kill. I would set my mix to 12, the delay time to 1/8D. Click to drag and it will be changing the delay time in time signatures. Now the feedback would be 20. Now let's see how our preset sounds like. The next thing that I would do is to drag my noise gates to the beginning of my signal chain. So once again, this is how it sounds like at this particular position, that is after the amp. This is how it sounds like at the very beginning. So that is the result. And the next thing that I would do is to drag my pre-block all the way to the back of my cabinet, and I would turn on my EQ and choose the hyper EQ. So everything will remain the same except me boosting the 500 Hz and also boosting the 1K. And I'll boost the 2K a bit and bring down the 4K. Something like that. So this is how it sounds like at the moment. So our tone is almost done. The next thing that I would do is to add an octaver. So you can either add either an octaver or any special effect. I would push my dry to 77. My high cut would be 0. And my low cut would be 40. Now, turning it on with the buttons on the board, I would turn this off and turn it on with the button on the board. So let's see. So basically that is how it sounds like, and you realize there's some noise coming through, so I'll push this to 35 and the noise disappears. So this is our preset, and if you don't need the octaver, you can turn it off with the first control switch button, and the next would be a chorus effect, and we just choose C chorus and choose mode 1. So this is how our preset sounds like, and I would save this and I would put my name, MrCrosby. Choose the genre, I would choose rock, and I would put the date that I created this. I created this on the 1st of April 2026, and I'll go ahead and save this. One important thing is to add a quick access parameter so that you can easily make changes to certain effects without having to click through many menus. At the moment, this is how the quick access parameter looks like on the board. So this parameter 1, parameter 2, and parameter 3. So I'll assign the mix of the delay to parameter 1 and assign the time of the delay to the parameter 2. Let's do it in the software. So I'll click this and head over to DLY, then the name of the preset, the name of the effect, and I'll choose mix. And for the parameter 2, I would choose the time. It looks like this on the board. So this parameter 1, the mix of the delay, the time of the delay. So you can easily make changes on the fly without having to click this, go through so many menus before you can and change it. You can easily do that over here on the first screen. I'll save my preset